there is a truth that most people never fully accept in their lifetime. The people who hurt you the most are often the same people who completely change who you become. Not instantly, not loudly, but slowly, silently, and permanently. And one day, without even realizing it, you wake up and notice something strange. You are no longer the same person who once trusted so easily, loved so freely, or believed so blindly. So the real question is not what they did to you. The real question is, did they break you, or did they rebuild you into someone stronger than you were ever meant to be? Stay with this until the end, because what you are about to understand may completely change how you interpret your past pain. And if you value deep psychological truth, emotional awareness, and real human understanding, subscribe now. Because this is where we don't just talk about life, we decode it. People as psychological impacts. Human beings are not temporary encounters. They are emotional imprints that shape your internal system. Every person you allow into your life leaves something behind. Some leave peace, some leave confusion, and some leave emotional disruption so deep that it quietly rewires your entire perception of trust, relationships, and safety. You may believe you are reacting to an event, but in reality, you are undergoing psychological restructuring. Because human connection does not just affect feelings, it affects identity. Why betrayal feels like shock. The pain caused by betrayal is not only emotional, it is neurological and deeply cognitive. Your brain builds emotional predictions about people based on repeated experience and trust patterns. You expect loyalty, you expect consistency, you expect emotional safety. And when reality suddenly violates those expectations, the mind enters conflict. First comes confusion, then emotional shock, then mental replay, then reflection. And within reflection, rewiring begins silently inside your consciousness. Because now your brain must update what it believed was safe. And that update permanently changes how you see people. The moment your identity shifts, there is a silent turning point after emotional pain that most people never consciously recognize. But it always happens. You begin reacting differently. You begin observing differently. You begin thinking differently. Not because you chose to, but because your nervous system has recorded emotional danger. And emotional memory is stronger than logical understanding. It becomes a filter for every future interaction. You may forgive the person, but you never return to the version of yourself that existed before them. That version does not come back. Not because it was destroyed, but because it evolved into awareness. The shift from assumption to observation. Before emotional pain, most people live in assumption. They assume trust is stable. They assume people mean what they say. They assume emotional safety is permanent. But after pain, assumption is replaced with observation. You begin noticing behavior instead of words. You begin identifying patterns instead of promises. You begin trusting consistency instead of emotional intensity. And this shift is not emotional damage. It is emotional intelligence forming under pressure. Because awareness is never born in comfort. It is born in contradiction and collapse. Emotional boundaries are formed after being hurt. Something fundamental changes within you, not visibly, but permanently. You begin to build emotional boundaries, not walls of isolation, but filters of protection. You stop trusting too quickly. You stop attaching without awareness. You stop giving emotional access without emotional evidence. And although this feels like emotional distance, it is actually emotional regulation. Your mind is not becoming colder. It is becoming more selective. Because it has learned what emotional exposure costs. If you are still watching this, pause for a moment and reflect. Think about the people who changed you the most, not the ones who stayed, but the ones who left emotional impact long after they were gone. If this message is resonating with you, subscribe right now. Because here we don't deal with surface-level motivation. We break down emotional psychology, human behavior, and the hidden patterns that shape your life. Now let's continue. How your perception of people changes after emotional pain. Your perception of people transforms completely. You no longer see them as who they claim to be. You begin to see them as who they consistently are. This is a crucial psychological shift. Before pain, you invest in potential. After pain, you invest in patterns. Before pain, you trust words. After pain, you trust behavior. And this single shift can completely change your life decisions. Because illusion fades and clarity replaces it. The development of quiet strength. One of the most powerful outcomes of emotional pain is internal strength. But not the loud kind, not the ego-driven kind, the silent kind. The ability to sit with discomfort without breaking. The ability to rebuild without validation. The ability to survive emotional storms without external support. No one sees this process, but it defines everything about who you become, because real strength is not how you behave when life is stable. It is how you remain when everything inside you feels unstable. The paradox of pain and evolution. Here is the paradox most people fail to understand. The same people who hurt you often become the reason you grow. Because without emotional disruption, there is no reflection. Without reflection, there is no awareness. Without awareness, there is no transformation. Pain forces self-examination. It makes you question your patterns, your boundaries, your emotional decisions. Even when it feels unfair, it still becomes formative. Because growth rarely comes in comfort. It comes through collapse and clarity after collapse. The final shift in identity. Eventually, something important happens. You stop defining yourself by what happened to you, and you start defining yourself by what you learned from it. The pain no longer becomes your identity. It becomes your understanding. And this is where emotional maturity begins. Not when you forget the past, but when the past no longer controls your present reactions. You are no longer reacting from emotional damage. You are responding from awareness. And that difference changes everything. So if someone hurt you deeply, if someone changed the way you trust, if someone reshaped your emotional world, understand this clearly. They did not only bring pain, they brought transformation. They did not only leave scars, they left awareness. They left boundaries. They left emotional intelligence that would not have developed otherwise. And even though it did not feel like it at the time, it was shaping you into someone more aware, more conscious, and more emotionally intelligent than before. So instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask something deeper. What did this experience turn me into? Because the answer to that question is where your real evolution begins. If this message reached you at the right time, don't ignore it. Like this video, share it with someone who needs clarity, and subscribe now. Because here, we don't just talk about pain, we explain what it builds inside you. And sometimes, understanding your past is the only way to finally unlock your future.